It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Hey everybody, it's your salty neighbor Giant here with, guess what, another video about Ashes of Creation. So I was thinking about making this video for a little bit now, and then a couple of friends of mine kind of gave me the right push to do this. So, but before we get into what this video is really about, because I'm pretty sure some of you assume this is going to be drama, we need to do a little bit of refreshing. So I started doing content for Ashes over 3 years ago. My first video popped May 20th of 2017, which was this one right here. And ever since then, I mostly cover Ashes. I mean, my channel is mostly known for Ashes. Funny thing is, most of my views come from Reddit. So I guess it kind of makes sense why most of my content is known for, you know, being your local salt lord, your white knight nemesis, as some other, you know, content creators might call me, which I kind of still dig that name. But let's be real here. So for the past 3 years, I've been covering Ashes. I never really done YouTube before. I streamed. You know, I put on a game and I started streaming, and that was it. No, like, fancy graphics, no, you know, pizzazz, nothing of that. And I got hooked on Ashes so bad back when I first joined, you know, the whole project, joined the community, that I started to really get into the whole making content as best as I can with what I have. As you can see, I don't have the best equipment, but I try to do what I can with what I have. And over the past 3.5 years now, I taught myself to do a lot of things. I taught myself how to do basic animations, 2D animations. I just recently got into pixel art. I taught myself how to do pixel art. Also, I can do better content for Ashes. I even bought fancy lights that do all kinds of things. So, you know, whatever I do looks a little bit better. And making content in general is always something that I find a little bit tricky. Because some of you may know that I worked in the gaming industry. I worked as an online marketing manager. My main objective or my main job was to deal with content creators when it came to promotions or sponsorships. So I now am in a point in my life where I know both sides of that type of business. And I learned a lot from watching other YouTubers. I learned that you always have to bring a high level of energy, and you always have to be brand friendly. And I always told myself that when I do content, that I want to do it in a way where I'm fine with it. I don't want to oversell something. I don't want to be the guy who's like, oh guys, this is awesome. Oh my God, dab, dab. Oh my God, what? I didn't dab. Dab again. And so I decided to make content based on my personal opinion when it comes to Ashes. My personal opinion as a fan, as somebody who is really dedicated in the project and thinks really highly of what Intrepid does. Even so, some people might not think that, and they think the complete opposite of me. Well, screw you. Straight up, screw you. Like, not even kidding. I don't like you. Screw you. You don't know me, so screw you. Anyways, back to topic. So I started doing content, and I tried a lot of things. I tried a lot of things. I tried the whole explanation content where I explain, you know, the basics of Ashes, and I'm working on something that is somewhat similar to that, but is more my style. I tried out, you know, news coverage. I tried out updates. As soon as Steven leaked something, I made a video, put that on YouTube. But I never really had fun doing it, and something that is always important for me, because this is not my job. This is not what I do for a living. I have a different job now. I go to work every day. So I wanted to find a way for me to do content for Ashes where I still enjoy it, because if you enjoy what you do, it translates into what you guys see. So I came up with the concept of giving my own personal opinion as a fan. Sadly, my most watched video till this day, which is this one, is one where I stated a lot of frustration about the game at the point in time when I released that video. It's sadly my most watched video till this day, and a lot has happened in the past year. I took a break from Ashes. I made a video when I came back explaining why I left, because at that point I was kind of frustrated, because, you know, there was a lot of maybe misinterpreted communication from my side. So today I thought it would be a cool idea, or like at least something that I wanted to do now, is go back and talk about the things that frustrated me back when I released said video. So this is what this is gonna do. So this is what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna go back and go over points where I got a lot of mixed messages, not from Intrepid, but from the community. A lot of people agreed with it. A lot of people, you know, they went the White Knight route or didn't completely disagree with it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. So let's do this. Okay, so the first thing that I think I need to say, before we get into like the nitty-gritty, because this is maybe gonna ruffle some people the wrong way, and this is really not my intention. So my opinion is my opinion. This is nothing else. Some may agree with it, some don't. My opinion is not meant to be harsh, like be destructive, be toxic, be negative. Some people might think that way, and that's your right, but you know, it is my opinion. And like I said, I'm trying to maybe point out things that, you know, other people do not agree with, and some people might agree with. And I have to say, for the majority of my content, there's always been people that disagree, and there's also people that agree with. That said, like I said, just like I just said just now, it is my opinion. I'm not trying to be toxic. I'm trying to be harmful. So I have a list of things that I want to go through. So this is going to be a longer video. So I might do timestamps. I might not. Let's see. Hey everybody, Giant here. If you are enjoying this video, make sure to give it a like and comment below. If you are new to the channel, feel free to subscribe and press that bell button so you don't miss my next video. Make sure to watch till the end and have fun. So, like I said, first thing was my opinion is my opinion. The second thing was, at the time when the video came out, the first director's letter came out, and that director's letter caused a lot of negative feedback from a lot of people. It got the name The Fluff Piece because the reason why I think people call it The Fluff Piece, and I did not make that name up. There was somebody completely different. The letter was not really directed at the core community. And I still think that is the case, but now I don't think it's a bad thing. Because something that I should have, I don't know, I knew it all the time, but I never really realized it till, you know, a couple months ago. The Yes, Ashes has its core community. Ashes has the people that are active on the forum. Ashes has the people that are on the Reddit. Ashes has the content creators that make content on a regular basis. Sim, Sunfrog, Frosty, Jalon, the Golden Feather. So, you know, we know what's going on with Ashes at all times. So when the leather came out, people said, okay, this is nothing. This is not for us. This is something for somebody else. So a lot of people got frustrated, which, you know, at that point in time I did understand. But now I also realize is, yes, the letter was directed not just at us, the core community, but at everybody else that might have some interest in Ashes and is not on the Discord every day. So after the letter came out, there was a situation where a lot of people were frustrated and everybody was in voice chat. And everybody was like, hate this, fluff piece, angry. And then something happened that not a lot of developers, and especially not studio owners, do. Steven jumped in the Discord and he was attacked hard. A lot of people that, even for my taste, were way too toxic and way out of line, they all, you know, they all stated their frustration, and Steven still stayed in Discord, and you know, he took it all in. He took it like a champ, and even till this day, you do have to give the guy credit for that, because not a lot of people do that. The next point that I talked about in my video is that the game is not going to be delayed by months. The game is going to be delayed by a couple of years. At least that was my opinion at that point in time when I made the video. And even now, with the progress that we're seeing, and we're seeing a lot of progress, I still think that the game is still a good amount out. It's still gonna be a while till we get a release. And one of the big selling points for me when it came to Ashes was always the 2020 line. I should have known better. I'll be honest with you, I should have known better. I just got so caught up in everybody, you know, believing in Steven, believing in Intrepid, that, you know, they will manage to do it. And now I know that I kind of always knew that this might not be the case, because taking an MMORPG does take a long time. So I figured, you know, I figure now that they should take all the time that's needed. Even if it might be not this year, might be not even next year or the year after that. But the problem, I think, also was that at that point they didn't have the full staff that is needed to fulfill something like before 2020. And now we're getting more and more people involved in Ashes. Yes, some left, but there's more people like being hired, so that's a good thing. So even though the game is going to be delayed for quite a bit, at least I think so. Like I said, this is my opinion. This is not a fact. I'm not stating any facts. I'm just saying this is my opinion. Even though the game is going to be delayed for a little bit, it's fine, because you don't want to rush something like this. You don't want to rush your first time MMORPG release, especially when it's a sub-based game, because if you look back, not a lot of sub-based games that came out that were MMORPGs managed to survive. I don't look at, for example, Wildstar. So next point was that Intrepid Studios is growing their staff, and that is always a good thing. If they hire more, that is always a good thing. You know, progress. The next point that I talked about was that I was really bummed about we're only getting concept art. And I agree, at that point in time, I was really like, we're only getting concept art. And, you know, 2020, and, you know, I want to see more. And I kind of get why I was frustrated, but now I think, yeah, but now we're seeing the concept art being, you know, put in the game. So I kind of get why I was frustrated, but now I'm saying, like, I kind of overreached maybe, or maybe I was a little bit too frustrated. I mean, if you're a fan of something, you know, you get stupid sometimes. I don't know, you get salty, I guess. Okay. First up, I want to state something. Some people always call me I'm salty about stuff. Google what salty means. There's a huge difference between frustrated and being salty. The only thing that I'm being salty about is that, you know, we don't have APOC anymore. I cannot play Sieges or Horde mode. I may be a little bit salty about that because I would have kicked ass in freaking Siege mode. So, moving on. The next thing that I talked about was miscommunication between the Intrepid Studio and the core community. Well, yeah. There was a little bit of miscommunication. We had times where there was no communication at all. You know, we always grasped. We called it information droughts, where, you know, on the Discord we were like asking for stuff and updates, and there are still a couple of subjects that, you know, we still need information on. But since Maggie and Toast came on, that changed. We're getting regular streams every month. We're getting more and more information as they come in, because now, you know, there's a certain rhythm. There's the rhythm, the method, the system has been streamlined, which is a good thing. So there is no more information droughts. We're always getting new information. Might not be the information that we're asking for, you know, but that's fine, because you cannot always give people what they want. Then next topic that I wanted to talk about, or that I did talk about, was I was cloudy about the vision I had for the game. Well, that was at the time where we hit those information droughts. So a lot of things were, you know, out in the open, and I was getting kind of worried. But that has been fixed. Like, everything that I needed to know, you know, has been answered, except when we're seeing orc 3D models, because let's face it, orcs are still the supreme leaders of any fantasy game. Elves can go and suck it, and Tulnars, I'm starting to hate Tulnars. Not because of the Tulnars, because of another reason. The reason, if you're watching this video, you know who you are. I freaking hate you. Then the next point that I was talking about in, you know, said video was I met Steven at Gamescom, and I met Steven, Alex, Peter, and Jeff at Gamescom 2018 when the my.com thing happened. I was actually one of the few guys who was there. I took pictures, sent them on the Discord, and people went like, "Oh my god, my.com! Oh my god, my.com! This is the end!" But I made a video about this if you want to go back and watch that. I still think that, you know, Steven holds, you know, has the full control over, you know, the my.com deal. I got a little bit worried when my.com, you know, messed up a little bit with the APOC servers when, you know, that whole thing went down. But I talked to Steven. Like, not a lot of people can say this, but I actually talked to Steven, and he assured me that everything is fine, and I still believe that. The thing that I'm worried about, because I think the previous year I had a talk with Steven where I kind of explained why I'm so into MMORPGs, and I think what he's doing is like the greatest thing that happened in a long time. And if I ever would see him, that I would give him a big old bear hug, which I did at Gamescom. I think I kind of rubbed him the wrong way. Just, you know, a little gut feeling that I have. So, moving on. The next point that I talked about, oh, this is gonna keep going. By the way, this is gonna be a long ass video. There's gonna be at least 30 minutes because I got a big old, I talked about a lot of stuff in that video. So next thing that I talked about, that we only have words and no proof of concept. At that point in time, that was somewhat correct. We only had words, but now, you know, with the newest like live streams, the newest like node videos, and the developer blogs, and, you know, all that stuff, and Steven, you know, explaining more and more stuff again on the Discord, we now have proof of concept. We now know how nodes work. We know all that stuff. Yes, some information is still missing, but that information will be passed on when it goes live, when it's ready to be shown. Moving on. We have no hard dates. Dates are off the table. Yeah, we do. Well, we got a little bit of dates. We got time frames. We got time frames, my friends. We got time frames. Time frames meaning we know when Phoenix Initiative, you know, is doing testing. We know the somewhat of the time frame when people will get access to Alpha 1, which at this point, you know, you know, is something. Sorry, I just got a message, which is kind of awkward. I'm gonna put my phone away. So they're not having hard dates. It's a game in development. It's active development. Not a big deal anymore. The next point was that because of the delay that happened, when the delay was announced, that a lot of people started to, you know, think and make the comments that the delay was because of Intrepid trying to release a standalone BR. Well, that is wrong. You know, see, that is a hard topic, because in my opinion, this will be proven false as soon as, you know, we get into Alpha 1, Beta 1, when we see what APOC did for Ashes, which is meaning the netcode. So even though we, the core community, you know, from Fushi all the way to Magic Man, all the way back to Unknown, back to Alluring, like we know why APOC happened. But people that are not on the Discord every day, people that are not constantly involved with Ashes, they may not know. They're gonna go based on what they see. You know, they're not gonna do a lot of investigation, a lot of reading up on stuff. So even though, you know, the BR was, I don't want to call it a misstep. It was a good experiment. It did what it had to do. It caused a little bit of friction between a lot of people. I myself in the video said that MMORPG players don't mix with Battle Royale players. Which, you know, I still kind of think that. It's still, you know, but, you know, it's my opinion. I think it's okay to have it. I mean, even though I did not play a lot of APOC towards the end, when it first launched, I had a great time. I killed, like, one of the biggest streamers on the planet. I killed Lyric, which, you know, I'm still kind of proud of. But in general, you know, not having the BR anymore, you know, is a good thing, because the BR did what the BR had to do. We still don't have a release date. That went into a topic I talked earlier, and that is fine. Release date will be announced when the game is ready to ship. And then I talked about one of the live streams at that time being a fluff live stream. And the things that I talked about was that I didn't think that covering the director's letter in the live stream, you know, that was, I don't know, maybe it was just a hole filler, like gap filler or something. I don't think, you know, people, we watch the live streams and they haven't done it ever since. They go into other stuff. So at that point, you know, I get why I was a little bit frustrated about it. Not a big deal now. Then I also stated that dropping a bomb like that and then doing Q&As, I didn't think it was a good idea. I don't think Q&As in each live stream is a good idea. We had so many Q&As now that, you know, you have the wiki, you got the Ashes post, which has all the transcripts of all the live streams. You got a website like Ashes 101, which is done by Jalon, which is the top content creator for Ashes. So you have all this stuff, and people, they can find the information themselves if it's out there. What I think would be a good idea is to do a Reddit Q&A. That's a good idea. But when we watch the live streams, we don't want to, you know, listen to other people's questions, because it's been 3.5 years now. I think most questions at some point has been asked. So, but that's not up to me. That's up to Maggie. And Maggie's doing a great job. So, moving on. Back during that time, there was an issue where there wasn't a lot of transparency anymore. And during the live stream, after the announcement of the delay, they went into detail why there was a delay, and there was a lot of transparency that I still am really thankful for, because I you know, that sort of stuff, explaining why you're delayed, that is something, you know, that again not a lot of studios do. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the transparency that we're getting. Period. Next couple topics are sieges. Yeah, that was the whole you know, gameplay that was, you know, the Siege's gameplay was just BR assets transferred over back and forth, which, you know, still fine. Whoever expected a full and completely different game, yeah. I don't know. I think I was kind of wrong about that one. And then I said something in regards to the fluff piece did harm the core community. It kind of did. It kind of did. And if you've been a part of the Ashes community, you have to agree that you know the community has changed in the last year and a half compared to 2017, 2018. It has changed a lot, but change isn't always bad. No, we're becoming more and more, the game is becoming more and more polished, more and more new people, you know, are coming in. You know, we have to think about the product by itself and not, you know, what we, the core community, want. Because the game needs to be the game, the community, the Discord, everything needs to be presentable to new users, to new players. And even though I miss the old days where, you know, we could rant, insult, and be maybe a little bit, how do I say, toxic friendly to each other, even though I miss those days, it makes sense to be more player friendly, new user friendly, and overall brand friendly in the Discord, because the Discord is the first place people come. I don't think people go to the Reddit. That would be a little bit weird. Then, yeah, BCG thinks it's okay with the delay. Yes, I agree, the delay is okay. Then I talked about Intrepid Studio setting the clock back to 0, which is good for new people. And then, you know, I went into the whole thing again where people were disappointed because a couple of things that Steven said over the past, you know, like year of 2018 got proven to be, you know, false, like the 2020 thing and the you know, self-publishing story. So, you know, game development is hard. I'm not gonna lie. Game development is hard. You're never gonna, you know, satisfy everybody. So that's all I gotta say. I didn't agree with a lot of things, but I came around and understood why they were done. If it doesn't matter which way you take, if you get to the finish line and you're proud with what you brought to the finish line, then how you got there doesn't matter in the long run. Then I talked about that I no longer have blind faith. I have to say, me having blind faith in the beginning was my own fault. Should have not done that. I personally think I got too passionate, too involved with everything, which my podcast I have. By the way, this is a weird flex. This is probably the weirdest flex I ever did. But I have the longest running podcast for Ashes of Creation. But over the period of the podcast, because the podcast in its nature, if you have an opinion, you can come on the podcast and you can talk about it. If you want to talk about something, you're more than welcome. As long as you're not toxic or a troll, you're more than welcome to come on the podcast. And for the past year and a half now, I have two co-hosts, Yoni and Stackerson, which they have completely different opinions than I do in a lot of things. You know, sometimes I disagree with what they say, sometimes I agree with what they say, sometimes they don't disagree with each other, you know, and I learned that me having blind faith in whatever Steven said back in the day was my own fault. I still believe a lot of things Steven said, but now I'm more of a, you say that and I believe you will do that, and when you show me that you did do that, then I'm gonna give you a big old high five. And the podcast, you know, they kind of, you know, like tore me down a little bit from, you know, being overhyped for everything to going to be frustrated to now being just really passionate, still being really passionate about the project, but without, you know, going over the top. And the next point that I talked about is that a lot of my friends. So here's a funny story. Here's a funny story. I brought 33 people to Ashes. 33 people, mostly my old World of Warcraft raid guild, and all of them kind of stopped. They all kind of, you know, around the same time when I took my break, they all just were like, you know what, I'm going back to World of Warcraft, and I don't believe what they're saying. I don't believe what they're doing. I'm not seeing anything. So they all dropped the Ashes. And now, at that point, I kind of understood it. But now, funny story is, most of them are back. I got an old raid TeamSpeak. Yes, I'm that old. I use TeamSpeak. I still have TeamSpeak. I mostly use Discord, but I do have TeamSpeak. They're all active again, and they keep DMing me. Hey, what about raiding? How is raiding gonna go? And I can always like tell them like, hey, listen. You said you didn't want any transparency, so I can, you know, tell you whatever you want to hear. But here's the information that's on the wiki. Here's a transcript from when it was talked about, and here's a video. Here's the Ashes 101 side where you can read everything up on it. You know, go find it out for yourself. And most of them are really back on the hype train. Well, not hype train. They're looking forward to it. And that's a good thing, because, you know, if hardcore, you know, 38, 40-year-old World of Warcraft hardcore raiders are excited for whatever you're doing, that's a good sign, at least in my book. Next thing that I talked about is need proof of concept. I already covered that. We do now have proof of concept for a lot of things. Then the next thing that I talked about is back when I did, you know, a lot of videos where I stated my frustration, I got a lot of comments from individual people that pretty much threw a big shadow on what was said on the Discord, because the Discord community, the active Discord members, from like a lot, it shrank down to maybe 20, 25. So back then I got a lot of DMs on Discord, you know, a lot of comments about a lot of people agreeing with what I said and what I was frustrated about. And over the past year, as soon as something new came out, the same people, you know, they were like, dude, did you see this? Dude, this is awesome. Dude, this is great. So now every time something new comes out, we're getting more and more positive feedback, and more people. Even the stream, you know, the stream took a small dive, and now it's going back up in viewer counts when they do a live stream. So more and more people are coming, you know, they're coming again, or they're coming out of hibernation for Ashes, and that is a really, really good thing. And actually now I'm really looking forward to each live stream, except the Q&A parts. I just, you know, go to the transcripts and just read those. The last thing that I complain about is that I wanted more transparency. I don't need that anymore. I really don't need any more transparency. I am completely fine with what we're getting. So, yeah. A lot has happened in a year. So, I don't know what else to say. I was frustrated. I came down. A year later, I looked at the video again. I'm like, yeah, okay. I get why I was frustrated, but it was maybe I should have waited. I think if I waited like half a year with that video, I think I would have never made it. So, anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Like, really, let me know what you think. Don't just go like, oh yeah, this is a great video. Oh no, you're such a turncoat. Oh no, you're such a white knight. Oh, you're toxic. Like, you know, write a couple lines, right? Like, oh yeah, I like this, I don't like this, you know, give me some feedback. And you can always catch me on Twitch. You can, you know, watch the podcast. And if anyone still doubts that I'm, you know, passionate about the project, or that I'm trying to, you know, be harmful or destructive? Well, like I said earlier, I've been doing a podcast now for Ashes for over 3.5 years. I think I made over 200 videos about Ashes. And I even now started to run a Discord server where, with a bunch of other content creators, where the majority of all active content creators for Ashes of Creations are on, and we help each other. Meaning, you know, if you need help making content, if you want to make good content for Ashes, you're more than welcome to join. And, you know, I just want to state that I really still am passionate about Ashes. I get that you might not agree with me with a lot of things. That's fine. I get that, you know, some people might see me as toxic or, you know, negative. That's fine. I might see you as a white knight who oversells stuff that should not be oversold. And that's the beauty of being in, you know, to have your own opinion. You can share it. You can have a conversation about it and not go into full, you know, drama mode and, you know, just be overall toxic to each other. Because at the end of the day, everybody wants the same thing. We want Ashes of Creations to come out. We want it to be a good MMORPG that we can at least think 5 to 6 years into. Some people might step out of line. Some other people might, you know, do other things that a lot of people don't agree with. Intrepid Studio is making the game they want. And there's, you know, we're just along for the ride. If they need our help, we help. If they need our feedback, we can give the feedback. But let's be more friendly to each other. Let's not, you know, be, how do I say? Let's not be toxic. Let's not be toxic to each other. Even though, you know, there are people on the Discord and on the Reddits that I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You're bringing up the same subject over and over again. It's getting kind of uncomfortable and annoying, you know, and yeah, it frustrates, you know, there are things that frustrate other people, you know, then there's stuff that doesn't frustrate people. At the end of the day, everybody wants the same. Everybody wants Intrepid Studio to make the best game they can so we all can enjoy it. And we all think they will, because otherwise you would not be watching this video or you would not be subbed to my YouTube channel. And if you're not subbed to my YouTube channel, well, you know, well, what's wrong with you? Because 60% of all my views come from Reddit. So shout out to Reddit. Peace. I know my stuff gets always downvoted, but thank you for the views. I appreciate you. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. I'm going to bed. Just wanted to get this video out. Gonna maybe edit this tomorrow. So, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you on the Ashes Creation Community Discord. Peace.